Gateways to Fairyland, Mysteries of Top Hat Men, and Gnomes. Today we're diving into a particularly exciting adventure. Let's go. My history with gnomes goes way back. First of all, I'm German, but like ever since I was a kid and we would go on like a road trip and end up at like some weird like home goods store. I mean, it wasn't really a road trip. My mom would just like going to like home goods stores with like garden sections. And there'd be these little guys with these top hats and the beards and these eyes that like stared into your soul, and I'd be like really freaked out about them. Older statues of just anything have like an uncanny valley aspect to them, to where they're like almost human, but there's like that cutesy cartoony style. It's like just really like sticks in your head, or it sticks in mine for some reason, in a way that is like creepy, but kind of good creepy, because as I get older and I discover things like, you know, taxes, gnomes a little lower on the terror scale. In fact, they're kind of like wholesome in a weird way. I made my peace with it after decades of terror, but you know, for a lot of different reasons. I was terrified of them for a long time, including the Goosebumps episode that convinced me if you fucked with the wrong shit, you got turned into something against your will, and that terrified me more than anything. Surgery terrifies me more than like magical transformations, but still, it's like, what, when you make one mistake and you have to spend the rest of your life as this thing that you weren't born as, that's kind of terrifying. That's a little seriously terrifying. That stuck in my head, along with a lot of other pieces of terrifying media I was way too young to watch, or just like sometimes horror aimed at kids is actually scarier than horror aimed at adults, because they have to get a lot more creative with it, including Spirited Away, which made me terrified of barbecue restaurants for the duration of my childhood. Right around the time I started like falling more in love with, instead of being terrified, this like ethereal spooky vibe that you get, especially when you go on like road trips in the South, let me tell you, or just really road trips in the countryside, anywhere that's more in a desolate place where you're more in touch with nature and less in touch with civilization. Little bits of that are good, but it can also be terrifying. Because we're not meant to stay there, we're meant to like visit. It's complicated, but it always feels like we're closer to a doorway to something that wants to be left alone.
And remember,
and we're supposed to be with the people. That's the vibe that I get. But anyway, right around the time I started like feeling more of a good connection with that kind of stuff, instead of being terrified of it, I had this dream about this about a gnome. And guess what? It wasn't a nightmare. It was literally just, I was in Hawaii surfing, and there was this gnome named Emuel with a red hat and a blue shirt. He was just chill. And I was like, I knew like, oh, you're not my enemy, you're just a chill dude trying to vibe. But yeah, anyway, since that point I've been like pretty chill with them. They're the little friends, they're meant to protect us from the evil. They're mischievous, but I mean like, that describes half the people I know. Rule of thumb is, be nice to something and it's probably gonna be nicer to you. Which brings us to Rock City. Nowadays, this really like whimsical, ethereal tourist attraction that really, even though it's like very clearly designed to be the spectacle that people like visit, the way that you just access it, the elevation, and then the way that everything is laid out, it's kind of a mixture of these natural wonders, like these really specifically strange rock structures and everything. The way it's all laid out kind of just adds to the ethereal vibe. And even though it's like intentionally designed to be that, because of the creators Garnet and Frida Carter, Frida loved fairy tales and like German folklore and everything, and she had a lot of these gnome statues and fairy tale statues that were imported because of what she loved. It was originally designed to be more of like a neighborhood or a residential area, and it later just kind of like was developed into this tourist attraction. So it was intentionally designed to be this whimsical place, but like even before that there were legends of this place being like the gateway to Fairyland, just because of how bizarre all the rock structures and formations are. And like honestly, anytime you were going up a mountain in the southern countryside, it kind of feels like you're entering another dimension. This place just feels bizarre and whimsical without all the gnome statues, but with that on top of it, it literally kind of feels like, you know, every step you take the fairies are watching you. But it doesn't necessarily feel good or bad, but it does feel very alive. And I mean, like, part of that, the music, this really, there's a whole lot that contributes to the vibe. I do recommend going there, but I will say it's in a very specific part of Georgia. So yeah, no, the gnomes and fairies are not going to be the scariest thing that you encounter up there. I keep seeing these visions of a top hat man, and then I'll see him in like a piece of media that I'm watching, or just like a top hat man in a piece of media, and I'm like, oh my god, it can only mean one thing. I'm going to find him. I can't explain it. I don't know what it is. I just know that I need to find him, and that I will find him. Yeah, so I'm gonna pause the video right here. I don't know what the heck happens in the next few seconds of this video, but I like enter the fairy dimension somehow. Just watch, you'll see what I mean. Okay. Oh, we're heading into known territory. There are these little gnomes hidden everywhere. Spooky purple door! Time to go in the goblins' underpass. That's my brother's name. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. This place is fun. I'm liking it so far. There's a lot I don't remember, but there's some that I do. What happens if you don't? The gnomes get you. I mean, they're cool, mostly. If you don't piss them off. Oh my god, it's a fairy tunnel. Emily would like this. Just don't eat the food and you'll be fine. Gnome houses. Oh my god. Oh wait, stay on the trail. I didn't stay on the trail. Sorry about that. I will find the top hat man. I know he's here. It's getting windier. His presence has been summoned. Oh, I found it. And down we go. Again. So I was gonna go to this barbecue restaurant. Also, don't pay attention to how my hair looks. It's totally been the same day. Totally hasn't been a lot of time that's passed in between this clip and the last one. But I was gonna go to this barbecue restaurant that was like gnome themed that was in Rock City, but it closed down maybe like a while ago, but it doesn't look like it's ever gonna reopen again. So then I went to a different barbecue restaurant, which is one of the ones that I would go to growing up a lot that would have like the creepy pig statues. Got chicken, not pork, because I ain't about to turn into no pig. But anyway, it's really hard to film in there because like country people will just look at you and literally just talk to you or talk about you filming, especially if you're going there by yourself. And it's just easier to do with like another person. It's just